Hello everyone, my name is Roldan Imigay and I am here to talk and teach you what is online learning. Online learning is the method of teaching a course with the use of internet and multimedia platforms. One of the famous multimedia platforms that we now use of is the Google Classroom, as it provides easier access for the assignments that is assigned to the students. Any social media can be used as a medium for teaching in the digital space. Even Facebook can be used as such. One great example of this is the formation in the ROTC that I was part of. We were exceeding in the maximum amount of how many people can enter in the Google Meet by 200. So they adapted to the situation and used Facebook. And one of the key definition of online learning is that learning through the use of technological devices such as phones, computers, laptops, tablets, etc. As without these devices, it will be impossible to use the applications that we want to use. As I have said, it can be Google Classroom, Facebook, Edmodo, LMS, Canva or Canvas, etc. And the reason on why we're using is due to the rise of the COVID-19 that had prevented us from any social gathering, as it may increase the spread of the virus. We're not allowed to have classes face to face, as it will increase the likelihood of infection to the students. So we don't want to risk that. So we try to have alternatives for learning in a way, and we come to the conclusion that the best we can do is either by modular learning, by distributing paper copies of the lessons and answering it there, or with the use of online platforms such as we are doing now in PNU. As for the advantages in online learning is that it can continue the course over long distances, as online learning is boundless as long as you have signal. It is also cost effective for eliminating physical learning cost. Such physical learning cost may include but not limited to written papers, pencils, the paper itself, the pictures, and such more, as it can be torn or it can be damaged with prolonged use. So with the use of online learning, we get to have the advantage of using the video platforms where we could just post or direct a camera at ourselves and record our report, and then use that for long periods of time, as long as it is not corrupted. And due to that advantage, it is efficient. It is also efficient for its job and is also readily available, as we have cameras in our phones. And that meaning that as soon as we provided the videos for our students, as I'm assuming that I'm a teacher now, as soon as we provided the pre-recorded lessons, the students are free to interpret the information on however they want, as they can replay it as much as they want to. And for that, it is flexible for a variety of learning styles. Some students may learn better if they keep on replaying the lessons. Some may learn better if they just search it for themselves, as they are more on the visual side, or they can be the cases of both or more. But of course, not everything has its ups only. It also has its downs, which is the disadvantages of online learning is the possibilities of low reception that can disrupt and lower the quality for learning. Low signals has been the most common occurrence of a problem for students and teachers alike. It lowers the quality of learning by let's just say if you have low signals, your video reception of the teacher will get lower also, as it becomes choppy, or it just pauses for a very long time and then starts lecturing, which doesn't really much make sense if you're a student who's trying to learn. It's just gonna be choppy and the audio is not going to be audible also. And the technology issues may arise from either not knowing how to use the device itself, or without the proper build of a device. Like if your cell phone has low memory or has a low processor, then the meeting will go slowly as it has lower specs. It also has the inability to focus on the synchronous lessons, as per meeting the students are free to leave the meeting as the teachers are babbling about the lessons, as they waste their time on social media such as Facebook. Like they can use Facebook in another tab while the teachers are talking. And for the health issues may arise from overexposure to the screen, as if your eyes are always glued to the screen, then your eyes are more exposed to the radiation that the device had been producing. And also, of course, it is sometimes overlooked, but the feeling of isolation. Like schools are fun due to how much connection that you get to bring with your classmates and teachers, but in online learning, the only people that you can interact with are your family and yourself. Feeling the isolation that you're not learning much and be a part of something in the lessons. Of course, there are two types of how a method on how the method is delivered, which is the synchronous, is a method of teaching and engaging the lessons in real time online, as one of the mediums or one of the famous mediums used by this meeting is either by Zoom or by Google Meet, as long as it has real-time video features where the teachers can interact with their students, and one may be called to answer immediately, just like in physical learning. As long as they can use their mic and call out names to answer their questions, then they can do synchronous learning without much in need of other tools, as long as it is interactive. And moving on to the asynchronous, it is by giving the lessons, instructions, and materials regardless of time. Like the tasks are given in a specific time and has its own deadline of passage, while in synchronous you are required to answer immediately to the question that has been asked by the teacher. In asynchronous, you get to answer that question in your own pace, on how long you want it to, as long as it does not bypasses the deadline. And of course, the teachers in the asynchronous has the capabilities of pre-recording their lecture to be given to the students, and again, as one of its advantages, that pre-recorded lecture can be used for future uses for future students in that specific course. And that's all that I can talk about this online learning, and thank you for listening.